Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to shoot a quick video looking at Kurv Investments and just an update on some of their funds and how they've been performing year to date. We're also going to talk about what funds are paying this upcoming week. So let's go ahead and dive into it here. So coming to their X page, definitely go check them out. They are at Kurv Invest on X. So this upcoming week, this is going to be the week AMZP Pay and MSFY pay. Remember, their declaration date is going to be on the 11th. The ex-dividend date is going to be the following day on the 12th, and then they're going to be paying on the 13th. Once again, definitely go to their website if you're, new to these funds. They are covered call types of funds, as you can see. So if we just go to AMZP was one of them. You can see in this breakdown, they are income funds, right? This particular fund is producing roughly a 28.47% yield. Do keep in mind it's going to fluctuate a significant amount every single month, but that's kind of what they're targeting. So AMZP is their ticker. They're obviously targeting Amazon. The investment objective is to seek to provide current income while maintaining the opportunity for exposure to share price of the common stock of Amazon, subject to a limit on potential investment gains. Yes, because they're selling the upside, right? They do a little bit better. They are a little bit more strategic with it. You get a smaller yield, but with that, you're not as much of your upside is capped. So the NAV erosion isn't going to be as bad as some of the other ones out there. Inception date, it's a pretty new fund, hasn't even been out for 2 years. This October it'll be its 2-year anniversary. Expense ratio is still pretty high, 1.15% and 0.99% net. Currently trading for roughly $28 per share. Not a whole lot of trading volume, unfortunately, with some of these Kurv funds. So the bid ask is a little bit higher than I would like to get in and out of these positions. Yeah, we're going to look at the total real return here in a second. Since inception, it's looking like 49%. So not too bad overall. Definitely not as good as what it would have been if you would have just invested into Amazon. But this is an income fund, so it's hard to really compare to that. I always tell people, you have to believe in the underlying, right? Long term, like don't go buy Tesla, don't go buy Murni from YieldMax if you don't believe in those two underlines long term. But also, if you like a stock long term, buy the stock. There's not going to be a better way to get exposure. It's a 1-to-1. You're not leveraging the position, anything like that. If you like Amazon long term, go buy Amazon. If you want income without selling your Amazon shares, with the way I'm trying to illustrate that is once you get 100 shares of Amazon, that unlocks the potential to start to sell covered calls, right? But if you never want to sell your Amazon shares for at least 10, 15 years, don't even get into the game of selling covered calls yourself. Go buy a fund such as Kurv, YieldMax, Roundhill that is implementing a covered call strategy on Amazon in a synthetic position way. And then, that could be a way you can create yield from your portfolio. Or you can do these synthetics yourself. If you want to sell a call spread on Amazon, I think that's what they're doing here. So this is April 17th, a 210 covered or 210 call, and then they sold the 235. Yeah, so they're doing a little bit different of a synthetic. They're using cash secured puts and covered calls at the same. Yeah, I don't know. This is so I think what they're actually doing here is you can see they sold a 210 put for April 17th. They bought a 210 put. And they also sold a 235. Normally, I would be thinking it would be the other way around. And maybe that was it. They sold the 210. This chart says 613, so that would be my presumption that they purchased them but maybe that's the opposite. Maybe they actually sold, or they bought 210 puts, bought 235 puts for the upside, and they sold the 210 because they are shorting the upside of Amazon. I think that would make sense to me. If I'm wrong, somebody definitely correct me down below there. So assets. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, that's their holdings, right? So we just kind of wanted to look at those. Like we talked about, there is a dividend declaration distribution coming up this upcoming week. They pay out on Thursdays, so really cool about that. They go on ex-dividend date on Wednesday, I believe, and then they pay out on Thursdays. But let's go over to the Total Returns website. This is just looking at the data for all of their funds across the board. TSLP, AMZP, MSFY, AAPY, GOOP, and NFLP. Of those funds year to date, they're all in the red, right? Pretty much everything's in the red right now. We've had a nice little pullback. It might be the beginning of a significant correction. Who knows? TSLP is leading the way in the negative at down negative 31%. Tesla has been having a rough year. AMZP down 8.68%. Microsoft, MSFY down 5.84%. AAPY down 3.86%. Goop down 9.23%. And NFLP doing pretty solid, actually. Only in the red a little bit there. So do with that as you will. Just kind of wanted to show you guys the data of that. So looking at last year, I think NFLP definitely won. So TSLP actually had a pretty good year last year, up 41%. Bitcoin, almost 100%. Well, this is Fidelity's Bitcoin Trust. So maybe not one-to-one Bitcoin, but great year for crypto. Great year for the S&P 500, 24.84%. Yeah, all these Curve funds did pretty well. Microsoft and Apple underperformed the market. Goop, yeah, outperformed it at 24, and NFLP, yeah, they were the leader for Curve last year. So yeah, that's gonna be it though. Just wanted to shoot a quick little video. Once again, these will be paying out this upcoming week. So if you're an investor or you're interested in these funds, definitely go do your research and make sure you purchase them before the ex-dividend date if you want to start a position in either one of these funds from Kurv Investments. Cheers.